Well, hello there, my studio teacher friends. Christina Whitlock here, host of the Beyond Measure podcast, which is your weekly shout out of music teacher solidarity. For those of you who are new here, I have been showing up for you for about 5.5 years now, assuming the role of your anytime piano teacher friend. I basically hang out here in the podcast app of your choice, ready to offer a little community with you on your own schedule. It's my way of giving back to this profession that I love, and I'm so glad you're here. So let's get on with the show. You are listening to episode 247 of the Beyond Measure podcast, truly investing in our work. So this one's going to be pretty short and sweet today, friends. There's a previous episode of this show that I think is really important. It's episode 187, and it's called Fostering Real Parental Investment in Lessons. The premise of that episode emphasizes how important it is for students to know that their parents are invested in their musical development. The problem is, of course, most parents hear investment and they automatically think about money. Parents are often quick to point out that they are very invested in lessons because, look how much money they are paying. But children need more than a financial investment. They need investments of attention and encouragement and acknowledgement of effort and all of those other things, right? Well, again, you can go back in the archives and listen to more of those thoughts in episode 187. It is linked in today's show notes, along with a few other relevant episodes. However, while I have you here today, I wanted to remind you that we, as teachers, often need the same kinds of investments in our work. The difference is we need that investment from ourselves. I've been thinking a lot lately about what our consumer-driven society has brought us to. We all know it's easier sometimes to throw money at a problem than it is to do the harder, more tedious work of fixing something ourselves. It's easier to purchase new organization bins than it is to do the things that it actually takes to be an organized person, right? We take pills and pay specialists when a lot of our problems would be solved by spending more time moving our bodies in the great outdoors. We are constantly looking for the perfect day planner, the newest technology, and the online influencer who will finally tell us where to find the perfect pair of jeans, right? Well, like it or not, we have been taught that purchasing something is often the answer to life's dilemmas. It's that financial investment, right? But much like students and their music studies, the financial investment is only part of the picture. So let's take a look at our teacher lives and figure out some places where we might benefit from a little more investment, shall we? There's a question that pops up in online teacher groups all the time. Every few months, it seems like someone asks, is joining MTNA worth the cost? Now, perhaps this is a question you've wrestled with too. From my perspective, yes, joining MTNA is worth it. But there's a catch. You can't just join MTNA and expect the financial investment to automatically pay off. Joining MTNA is absolutely worth the cost if you take time to read the journal that comes with your membership. It's worth it if you engage in your local and state association events. It's worth it if you attend a conference or two or some meetings. It's worth it if you connect with other members, if you watch webinars that MTNA offers. If you get involved and volunteer, then yes, it can absolutely be worth it. Personally, MTNA has shaped who I am as a teacher in profound ways. The more I invest in that organization, the more it seems to give back to me, like plain and simple. But if you pay your dues and then expect the benefits to just show up in your life without any additional effort, well, you're going to be disappointed and you're going to feel like you wasted your money. The same thing goes for any online resources you purchase. Now, hear me out. I am guilty of this at times myself. But if you purchase a course or a resource or some digital music or whatever, it's going to take some amount of effort on your part to reap the benefits of that thing. That's the investment I want to remind you of today. I guess it feels like a fitting topic for conversation since we are officially at that point in the year where most of our New Year's resolutions are merely a distant, laughable memory. If you are guilty of falling for the New Year, New You hype, chances are you might have purchased something in January that you thought would relieve a pain point in your life. The reminder I'm offering today is this: purchasing that thing was probably not enough. There's some amount of effort that needs to go with it. You know, Jana Williamson and I ran this intermediate piano teaching cohort last fall. It was such a great experience. You've heard me talk all about it here on the podcast. But in collecting feedback from our participants, there is such a clear correlation between time investment and takeaway. So those who committed to doing the readings and showing up for the teaching sessions had a more transformational experience than those who didn't. I mean, everyone's feedback was positive, but it was obvious and entirely predictable that those who invested their time and energy took away more from that experience than the people who only invested their money. I'm seeing the same thing right now with those who purchased my first run of Building Better Music Readers. Like, some teachers are all in. They're watching their videos, they're printing their resources, they're doing the drills in lessons, and they're reporting really inspiring feedback in their weekly reflections. I just love it. Now, there are others who haven't really taken a dive into the material yet, and that's fine. It's a 12-week adventure, so there's still plenty of time to jump in if you fall in that category. I guess it's just on my heart to remind you all today that your financial investments also need other kinds of investments. The new music you purchased isn't doing you any good unless you take it off the shelf and play it, or give it to a student to play. The new microphone you purchased might not be doing you any good unless you take time to read the manual that came with it and maybe watch a video or two so you can really understand what it's capable of. That stack of music teacher magazines you have sitting in a pile on your desk, maybe you should take 15 minutes and read an article or two this week. What about all those fruits and vegetables you bought at the grocery store? They need you to wash and chop and do all the prep you need so you can actually eat them before they rot in the bottom of your fridge. Oh, snap. You're going to come after me about that one now, aren't you? So before I step on any more of your toes, I'm going to close us out today with a toast. Go ahead and grab the nearest glass and raise it with me now. Studio music teacher friends from all over the world. Today, we remind ourselves that investment comes in many forms. May we each take a look inward to the financial investments that need some tending to, particularly those that involve our work. Teaching is a profession that requires a constant flame, and we need to make sure we are tending to that flame so it doesn't burn out. Thank you for letting me be part of the fan to your flame, my friends. Hear, hear. I want you to notice that this episode is a little shorter than usual, my friend, which means that you now have a few more minutes to go give something else the investment of your time and attention. Go read the book that's been sitting on your shelf, or play some scales. Write a studio parent a quick note of encouragement. Book your hotel room for the MTNA conference in March. Work on your tax receipts and then go get yourself a treat, whatever. Go forth and invest in yourself in all the ways that matter, okay? As for me, I will be back with you next week. Onward and upward we go.